Hello YouTube, I'm the Gaming Pegasus 187, and welcome back to Side Scroller Sunday. This is episode 18, I believe. Here we are going back and finishing the Ninja Gaiden playthrough. Now, as I am playing this on an emulator, and since I've already did my time playing through these last three stages over and over and over and over and over and over again. Thank you, annoying Navi, for the little gents challenge, and of course I gave him Dark Souls. Because rule number one with the PGRF gents challenge, gentleman's challenge, if Dark Souls is on your list, it will be picked. Rule 2, if there's an RPG on your list, it will be picked. Yeah. I learned the RPG one out the hard way. I put Skyrim on the first one I did. I was it a few years ago? Yeah. And, Skyrim got picked. I know. Anyway. I was going over my head as I was playing this. And as I was dying over and over and over again. So, if I had left, just gave the uncut footage after I started doing re-records at the final boss, this would be about an hour-long video. Yeah. So I'm basically cutting out all the unnecessary me playing through the last couple stages again. And you'll see what I mean, because when you die on the final boss, it sends you back to 6-1. It is cruel. Anyway. Next Sunday is the Hell in a Cell pay-per-view. The only match I'm excited for is Rollins and Ambrose in the Cell. This pay-per-view is really showing the unbelievable failure the WWE has shown the last couple of years in building up top-level guys. I mean, you know, Punk walked out at the beginning of the year. They had Daniel Bryan built up. He got hurt. Who else was there left? They had nobody else. They had fucking Orton and Cena. So, what really pissed... The Hell in a Cell matches, they had always been built up, and it was supposed to be the end-all, be-all for a feud. Like, this was, if you wanted to end a feud and this feud was heated enough, you used the Hell in a Cell. Mick Foley had his retirement match against Triple H in No Way Out 2000 in the Hell in a Cell. Of course, he then came back a month later because he got the call, but besides the point. Yeah, his retirement match was in February. 2 weeks later, he was back to wrestle at WrestleMania in the main event. Whatever. You look at the matches that have, the feuds that have, you know, ended in the Cell. You look, one of the ones I kind of go back to is DX and the McMahons. The 3-on-2, you know, DX versus Shane, Vince, and the Big Show, who's the ECW champion at the time. And that's another argument. Lovely, because I'll get into that here in a few minutes when I talk about the pay-per-view I watched, but this feud had been built up, and this was, you know, Vince just kept sticking it to Shawn. You know, they had a feud going on for a couple months. Shawn goes out with, you know, he gets taken out for a few weeks. Triple H gets involved. Ends up in a 5-on-1 handicap match against the Spirit Squad. Or no, it was a gauntlet match. Ended up being a handicap, you know, match, whatever. Gauntlet, whatever. And Shawn comes back, bada bing, bada boom, DX gets reformed. And, you know, DX ends up being a thorn in the side of the McMahons. Yeah, you have to take advantage of that glitch to get that guy to disappear, or beating that section is fucking impossible. Unless you have a throwing weapon. But that section has no weapons. I know. Fun. Yeah, just always go after that little flame wheel. But back to the feud, the DX McMahon thing. boom, we go in Spirit Squad, you know, just keeps getting their asses kicked, which pretty much what the Spirit Squad became. They became, you know, the butt of every DX joke. They were, you know, DX's whipping boys. So they have the, you know, the 5-on-2 elimination match where the Spirit Squad gets shut out, locked in a cage. And then, of course, Vince and Shane, excuse me, Vince and Shane wrestle at the DX at SummerSlam. They lose. It just keeps getting worse. You know, the antics DX had around it, they were just, I just found funny. I mean, they had the thing where they were where Vince is walking down the hall. They, you know, Sci-Fi, this ECW is getting ready to premiere on Sci-Fi, so yeah. Alien came up, you know, started doing the Vince strut. You had the debut of Big Dick Johnson, the overweight male stripper in a thong. Okay. You had a guy come deliver a chicken. It's a cock. Apparently, you love cocks. Yeah, Vince loves cocks. Damn, that was funny. And of course, you got the penis pump. Oh my god. So, you know, just week after week, and this ad when I was recording, I don't know if this is the emulator or what, but yeah. This flashing is annoying. So, after SummerSlam, DX gets booked in a 3-on-2 handicap match against the hired guns from SummerSlam, because the McMahons didn't come out and tell. You know, they threw this was Finlay, William Regal, and Mr. Kennedy. And earlier in the night, you know, Vince stayed in his hotel suite. Just relax. Shane was covering the show. And actually, a point during the night, Shane went back into the locker room with a bunch of security guys. 2 of them you'll actually recognize if you go back and watch this. The then Claudio Castagnoli, now Antonio Cesaro, and the now Ethan Carter III, aka Derek Bateman. Yeah, so just funny. So, this is after the DX had sent Vince a chicken. He cracks, he just breaks down, about to turn into a blubbering mess. Yeah, that's how you beat this first stage, the first part of this boss. This bastard. Go after the orb. So, coming up is actually one of the first edits. And you'll see that when it just cuts right back into the boss, because I'm not going through and playing all those stages. Because like I said, this would be an hour-long video if I left all that me dying and all that shit in. So, eventually, the match ends in a disqualification, yada yada yada, ends up DX ends up starting to get beat down, then all of a sudden, you know, Vince comes out. He is mad, he is not overblown, strutting to the ring. You know? And he's got a lead pipe. They just bloody the hell out of DX, and he says, and he just, because he announced Hell in a Cell, and this feud was just heated. He ended up getting a really damn good match, which is, you know, Shane McMahon always puts on a good match. Big Show was just wrecking shit on ECW at the time. You know, after the infamous South Philly screw job. And then, of course, Vince, who's not the most graceful in the ring, but he's a big jacked up son of a bitch, and he will fight you. So it pretty much ends with, you know, DX winning, Vince becoming the billionaire butt plug, getting his head shoved so far up Big Show's ass, he'd be able to see the crap on his teeth from the inside. And then, of course, they ended up going right into a feud with Edge and Orton, rated RKO. God, you could put Edge in a tag team with anybody, and it would work. Seemed like Orton, who's never really been the strongest on the mic. Let's put it that way. Like, Edge can handle all the talking, and Orton's still really damn good in the ring. They're actually a really damn good team. They came together to try and fight DX and stop them. We got a couple months out of this. We got a special referee match at CyberSlam with the infamous backstage segment where Shawn Michaels super kicked Stan. Still one of my all-time favorite bits. And I forgot, of course, and then I forget to mention during the whole DX McMahon feud, we had DX imitate the McMahons and cover them in shit. Literally, with the Spirit Squad. Shane's puking on stage, they're all gagging. I mean, Triple H came out, just overblown, just the overblown Vince vlog, just overblown as hell, hilarious as fuck. Shawn came out, he was Sean O'Mac dancing around, just funny. They played the fucking stand back clip, Vince, and just making fun of him, and you just see, and then you go into the feud with Edge and Orton, which was really damn good, got a few months, had the, like I was saying, they had the special referee match. Oh jeez, I gotta hurry up and get this done, I'm running out of time. Which was, vote, the fans got to vote, and they picked Bischoff, and, it went from there. Of course, that feud ended at New Year's Revolution, mostly because Triple H tore his quad. Yeah, Triple H gets all the, the burial jokes. He's kind of the running gag online, how he buries people. The magic shovel, the reason Nash gets the torn quad jokes is because as soon as he comes back from I don't remember if it was a pectoral or a bicep injury in 2002, I believe. He comes back, there's this big 10-man tag. He comes and gets in the ring, takes like 5 steps, and tears his quad. Ugh. Anyway. ECW December to Dismember. Man, they really dropped the ball with ECW. I mean, Big Show had a great run. He was wrecking everybody there. You had... it just seemed like the originals they did have Sabu and Van Dam got, legal trouble, so they got depushed. That's the reason Van Dam dropped the belt so quickly. I mean, ECW did build up, guys, Punk, CM Punk most notably. Oh, quick, going back to the South thing, basically they mean nothing. I mean, we're getting Cena versus Orton for the millionth time, 1 millionth time. No one wants to see that, just how bad they've been at building main eventers. We saw that, as I was saying, Brian getting hurt and all that, but there's, no build-up. There's no build-up to this other than we're getting, a 1 week. It's like, oh, we gotta have 2 cell matches, just throw Cena and Orton in there, fuck it. Anyway, the quick thing on the Bellas, I don't care. I don't fucking care. There's nothing they could do to make me give the remotes to fucks about that storyline. But, okay, going back to the ECW thing. I'm fucking bouncing back and forth here. I'm trying to cram everything in this video. And here we go into the third portion. In the December to Dismember, it had, had they decided to bring back the ECW tag titles, maybe it would have been so bad that, because the one title match was the ECW title in the Extreme Elimination Chamber. Lovely. Okay. Oh, excuse me, it's 2:15 in the morning. I'm really tired. But you had the Hardys and Eminem open the show. Not ECW roster per se. You had, for the Hardys, Eminem, Mercury, Nitro, Molina. That was a really damn good match. There's a point where Molina got drop kicked by, I believe it was Nitro. Shit. You had Elijah Burke and Sylvester Turkai, that guy was there for a cup of coffee and left, against the FBI, who was, you know, Little Guido and Tony Mamaluke, with Trinity as their manager. Good match. And, you know, Turkai, you know, Burke and Turkai win the match. Turkai, he starts doing a muscle buster. You can hear a crowd chanting, TNA! TNA! And, you know, not to be outdone, Vince would do the infamous Donald Trump versus Rosie O'Donnell bit on Raw a number of months later, and get an even better TNA chant. You had... And I'm just struggling because this was a really lackluster pay-per-view. I mean... The wrestling on it wasn't too bad, but it just wasn't memorable. It seemed like there weren't a whole lot of feuds with ECW that were going on. I mean, all of a sudden you have, you know, Khali and Tommy Dreamer wrestle a match. Or no, it was a Daivari and Dreamer. Daivari gets a cheap roll-up win. And then Dreamer's chasing up the ramp. Boom, that two-handed choke bomb, whatever that Khali did. In the semi-main event, you had Mike Knox and Kelly Kelly, who, before the match, said, I want to wish CM Punk the best of luck in the Extreme Elimination Chamber. Yeah, that was the one other story. That was probably the one storyline they had that were ECW guys. Kelly Kelly was an exhibitionist, so she would strip for the crowd. And Mike Knox would come out and stop the whole thing, do a chorus of boos, until the Sandman came out and caned the shit out of him. So, you know, against Kevin Thorne and Ariel. And you just remember how hot Shelly Martinez actually still is. But, you know, Mike Knox, he doesn't, you know, Kelly's banging for a tag, doesn't tag him, he walks out. And Kelly loses the match. They're beating the, you know, Ariel's beating the shit out of him, or her. And then Sandman comes out, canes the hell out of Kevin Thorne, bada bing, bada boom. And then, of course, the Extreme Elimination Chamber, which Bobby Lashley won, and... yeah, it just... I mean, what the hell? I just... The only other thing I can really talk about that I can, you know, think of is Smash Brothers. I mean, I've been playing that a lot of... I'm playing a lot as Little Mac. Motherfucker, that guy's Little Mac's OP as shit. God damn. But a lot of, you know, the Smash Run mode, a lot of some classic mode here and there to kind of dick around with other stuff, but I haven't really played online yet. I'm just kind of really getting used to the game. Really looking forward to the Wii U version, and, you know, the soundtrack deal doesn't,
fuck her right in the pussy!
Didn't affect me because I was getting both anyway. So, yeah. But that is the end of Ninja Gaiden. You know, getting raped at the end there by the mutant alien shrimp. Shooting Barney the dinosaur semen at you. Yeah. That's the video. Pegasus out.